Good afternoon, friends. Very soon, India will see the beginning of the Lok Sabha elections. This is a most important election for the country, for the people of our country, and for people living in all states of our country, including Nagaland. And I want to make 5 points to you today. I've been to Dimapur before. I came here during the assembly elections. I was in Nagaland 3 months ago. Mokokchung, Kohima, Tuli, Wokha. I came as part of Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, and we traveled for about 275 kilometers. We traveled through so-called roads. There were no roads, but somehow we managed to finish the yatra, and I required Ayurvedic treatment at the end of the yatra. It was NH 37. There was no NH. Hardly any road, particularly the main highway stretch. But that's a separate issue. So the 5 issues I want to raise with you today. First, the BJP, the Prime Minister talks of one nation, one election. One nation, one tax. But the BJP's long-term plan, one nation, one language. One nation, one religion. One nation, one culture. This is the real game plan of the BJP. They want uniformity. The Congress wants unity. So the 2024 election is a battle between unity versus uniformity. The Congress wants to celebrate India's diversities, but the BJP wants to impose an artificial uniformity. When I say BJP, I include all the allies of the BJP in this. Here in Nagaland, we have the battle is between NDPP and the Congress. NDPP is not a political party, it's a washing machine. It's a BJP washing machine. And the Congress is fighting this washing machine. So the first point I want to make is, the Congress wants to strengthen unity by celebrating its diversity. The BJP wants to impose artificial uniformity. That is the first issue in the 2024 election. The second issue that I want to say is that the BJP removed Article 370 from our Constitution. This is the Constitution of India. Article 370 was removed. There was a bulldozer in Parliament and Article 370 was removed. Next target is Article 371. And Article 371A in the Constitution was included in 1963 when the state of Nagaland was formed. Article 371A protects the culture of Nagaland, protects the religions of Nagaland, the cultures of Nagaland, the languages of Nagaland. It protects ownership and transfer of land. This is under threat now. Article 371A is under threat. Article 371B for Assam is under threat. Article 371C for Manipur is under threat. Article 371F for Sikkim is under threat. Article 371G for Mizoram is under threat. And Article 371H for Arunachal Pradesh is under threat. But for Nagaland, it is Article 371A, particularly Clause 4 of Article 371A, which says that Parliament of India will not have jurisdiction on the ownership and transfer of land and its resources. That will be the responsibility of the Nagaland Assembly. That is under threat. So Article 371A, which provides special provisions for Nagaland, is now under attack, will come under attack. My third point, after almost 25 years of negotiations, finally in 2015, the Prime Minister made public a framework agreement with the NSC and IN. It was a framework agreement between the Government of India and the NSC and IM. But till today, we don't know what the details of the framework agreement are. 9 years have gone by. Promises have been made. In the assembly election, the Home Minister, the Prime Minister said, this is election for solution. But today there is no solution. There is only confusion. Why have the details of the framework agreement not been made public? This is the third point I wish to make. They have fooled the people of Nagaland. The fourth point I want to make is there is only one issue in this election, and that is jobs for youth. In the last 45 years, we have had the highest unemployment rate for youth in our country. One young person commits suicide every 2 hours in our country because of lack of jobs. There are no jobs. Few people are getting rich. But crores and crores of our youth are unemployed. The real issue in this election is unemployment, jobs. The Prime Minister promised to create 2 crore jobs every year when he got first elected in 2014. He has failed to fulfill that promise. He does not talk about jobs. He does not talk about price rise. He does not talk of economic inequality. He talks only about polarizing our society on the basis of religion. We are fighting this election on the 5 Nyais, the 5 justices, and the 25 guarantees that we have given to the people of our country. Justice for women, justice for youth, justice for farmers, justice for workers, and social justice for all sections of our society, particularly scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and backward classes. These are the issues in the 2024 election. But you will not hear the Prime Minister speaking about these issues. The first line in our Constitution, the preamble to the Indian Constitution, the very beginning of our Constitution, which became effective on 26th of January 1950. It says, we will give, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice. First line of the preamble talks of justice, social, economic, and political. So that is the agenda for the Congress party. Justice. Justice for women, justice for youth, justice for farmers, justice for the weaker sections of society, and justice for workers. Finally, the fifth issue that is important: will democracy survive in our country? We have the Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland who is telling the village elder, please vote on behalf of all the villagers. Is this democracy? All political parties have joined the government. Is this democracy? The only party keeping alive democracy in Nagaland, the only party keeping alive democracy in the Northeast, the only party keeping democracy alive in the rest of the country is the Congress party, is the Indian National Congress. We will never compromise with the BJP. So the future, this election, is for the future of democracy. Will the media be free? Will students be free? Will civil society be free? Nagaland is a state in which civil society is very active. But civil society has become the target of the BJP. They are spreading fear, threatening civil society, intimidating civil society. So this is the real issue in the 2024 election. To summarize, friends, these are the 5 issues. First, the unity versus uniformity. Second, the survival and protection of Article 371A in our Constitution that has special provisions for Nagaland. Third, a permanent peace, a return to social harmony, progress and prosperity, where people can see roads, people can see connectivity, people can move about. Fourth, jobs for youth, where young men and women are engaged productively. And finally, the issue of the preservation of our democracy and our democratic institutions. So these are the 5 issues that I wanted to raise today. These are very crucial elections. The country is at a turning point. Every vote counts. And that is why I have started my election campaign from Dimapur in Nagaland. Every vote counts. Every seat counts. And I believe that the Congress party and its allies, India allies, will get a clear majority, and the roads for that majority will begin from Nagaland. The NDPP is a hodgepodge of opportunists, of people who need protection from ED, CBI, income tax. They want to be in the washing machine. They think they are an election machine, but they are actually a washing machine. So we are holding the flag of democracy high, and I believe that the people of our country are fed up of 10 years of Mr. Modi's injustices, false promises, lies, and defamations. And they want to give a long retirement to our Prime Minister on June 4th. So normally, if I remind you of 2004, the common minimum program was prepared after all the allies came to power. So the India parties will prepare a common program. We won't call it common minimum program. It will be CMP. CMP will not stand for common minimum program, but it will stand for common maximum performance. And this will be prepared when we get the mandate from the people of our country on the 4th of June. So far, we have our manifesto. Individual parties have their individual manifestos, but we are all united. We have had multiple meetings. We have had 5 meetings of the parties that constitute the India group, and we are all united. Justice for women, justice for youth, justice for farmers, justice for workers, and social justice. These are common to all the 28 parties that constitute the India bloc, the India group. So we are clear in the direction. We want to save this sacred document, the Constitution of India. We want to save democracy. So we are united in our resolve. Now the details we will work out when we get the mandate from the people. Who is the Prime Minister's candidate? So let me answer that question. In India, elections are not a beauty contest for selecting who is Prime Minister. Elections are between political parties. Party manifesto, party symbol, party ideology, party program. Ours is not an individual-centric democracy. Ours is a party-centric democracy. When we get the majority, when we get the mandate, all the parties will sit together and will select the Prime Ministerial candidate who will be sworn in as Prime Minister. We do not believe that elections are fought to choose candidates represent political parties. A very important distinction. Unlike America, where you choose individuals, ours is a parliamentary system where we choose parties. Electoral bonds, we were opposed to electoral bonds from 2018 onwards. in our 2019 manifesto, which I will give you, I will send it to you as soon as this conference is over. We have a specific paragraph said we will abolish electoral bonds. We are opposed to electoral bonds. But your question is right. BJP got 8,200 crores from electoral bonds. Congress party was third. We got 1,400 crores from electoral bonds. So are we being hypocrites? Very valid question. How did BJP get 8,200 crores? That is the question. Out of 8,200 crores, BJP got about 4,000 crores of electoral bonds by companies who were given contracts to build airports, to build highways, to build bridges, infrastructure projects. They got over 2,000 crores from companies who were subject to ED, CBI, income tax, and they got about 2,000 crores from companies to whom they had given contracts. So there were different ways. Now the Congress party is not in power. We don't have CBI. We don't have ED. We don't have income tax. We are not giving contracts for Dimapur airport. We are not giving contracts for NH37. This is being given by the government of India, controlled by the BJP. So the electoral bond that has gone to the BJP has gone because of threat, fear, intimidation, and contracts awarded by the BJP government at the center. The people who have given to the Congress are people who have been giving to the Congress for the last 70 years. After all, we are a 135-year-old party. 139-year-old party. I should correct myself. So we are in not a position to threaten people. We are not in a position to award any contracts. We have only two state governments, Telangana and Karnataka, and that is, we have come about only in the last year. That is why the Supreme Court said the electoral bond is unconstitutional. It's illegal and it's unconstitutional. It is the world's biggest corruption racket run by the Prime Minister. You threaten and you get the bond. You give a contract, you buy the bond. So this is how the BJP legitimized corruption. That's what they did. So we are not being hypocrites. Because we don't control the agencies, we don't award contracts from the center. This is what the BJP has done. Now your first question. Negotiations were resumed in 1997. Mr. Deve Gowda, Mr. Gujral, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Actually, they started when Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. Then Mr. Deve Gowda, then Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Mr. Gujral, then Mr. Vajpayee, then Dr. Manmohan Singh. All this resulted in certain ideas that were incorporated in 2013 and which were incorporated in the framework agreement of 2015. The latest document we have is the 2015 document, the framework agreement, without the details. Now that framework agreement reflects this long years of negotiations that took place. The starting point is what was released in 2015. The details of which we don't know. We don't know what the details are. And we have been demanding in Parliament and outside, please take us into confidence and tell us what are the details of this agreement, framework agreement. You've signed a broad framework agreement. We all want peace to come back to Nagaland. We want social harmony in Nagaland. We want Article 371A to be implemented in letter and spirit. Now today Mr. Modi has all the files. He can make the 2013, 2015, all the discussions that have taken place from 1997 onwards, he can make them public. We are not in a position to make them public because we are not in government now. So my answer to your question is, the 2015 framework agreement reflects long years of negotiations between the Government of India and the NSC and IM, and it is up to the Prime Minister of India to make public how they arrived at this framework agreement, including what had happened in 2013. We believe that all regions of Nagaland must see development. We believe that the political aspirations of the people of Nagaland must be fulfilled, and Article 371A is a reflection of the commitments made as part of the Constitution of India. Imbalances in development must be addressed. People in different parts of Nagaland must have a voice in governance. And this is true not just of Nagaland. It's true in Assam, it's true in Bihar, it's true in Kerala, it's true in Jammu and Kashmir, it's true in Gujarat. Regions in every state feel left out of governance. That is a reflection on bad governance. So we believe we must have balanced regional development between states and balanced regional development within a state. Both are important. So far, we have been addressing interstate inequality. We must pay far greater attention to inequalities and disparities within the state. And we believe we have an instrument in the Constitution, the autonomous district councils. We must hold regular elections. To give you an example, the last time elections were held to the ADCs in Manipur was in 2015. And part of the problem in Manipur is you have not held elections to the 6 ADCs in Manipur. So the ADCs, you must have election, you must give them adequate powers, according which is part of the 6th schedule. So that is our stand, that is our commitment. As far as the first question is concerned, one second. As far as the first question is concerned, we have a young, dynamic, active, aggressive PCC president who is our candidate for the election. And there can be no greater demonstration of the seriousness of the Congress party in Nagaland than the fact that my friend, my colleague, who was with us in the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra throughout, Jamir, he is our candidate. So I think people of Nagaland, the youth of Nagaland, are looking to the Congress as an alternative voice. You need an opposition. All parties have become part of the NDPP. What sort of democracy is this? We cannot have a one-man democracy. We cannot have a one-party democracy. So I think we are very serious, and the fact that Mr. Jamir is our candidate, our PCC president is the candidate, shows that the Congress is very serious. We must restore the rule of law and democracy in Nagaland. All voices must be heard. Grievances must be listened to. Their aspirations must be fulfilled. We cannot have a few people running the state of Nagaland. And I think all these voices that you are hearing is a reflection of the fact that large sections of society feel that their voices are not being heard, that they don't matter, that only a few leaders who have connections to the Home Minister and the Prime Minister matter. We are filing a formal complaint with the Election Commission against the Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland. It is a corrupt practice. It's an anti-democratic practice. I know village institutions have a special role in Naga society. I respect that role. But a democracy is based on one person, one vote. I don't want to know whom you have voted for, as long as you voted for somebody. That is the spirit of democracy. And for the Deputy Chief Minister of Nagaland to go and tell the village elder, you don't have to bother, you just vote on behalf of all the villagers. It's a corrupt act, it's an anti-democratic act, and we will be approaching, today by 5 p.m, we will be filing a formal complaint with the Election Commission. Today we are on the 9th of April. Manipur erupted on the night of 3rd of May, almost 11 months ago. Prime Minister is quiet. He has not come to Manipur. He has not met the Chief Minister of Manipur. He has not met political parties of Manipur. He has not met MPs of Manipur. One MP is his MOA, his External Affairs. He has not met him. He has not met MLAs of Manipur. He had to come to Mizoram for assembly election. He had to cancel because then people would have asked him, you're coming to Mizoram, why can't you come to Manipur? This is the and what has happened in Manipur on the 3rd of May is a direct result of the politics of division, politics of divisiveness, which the BJP practices. What has happened in Manipur is only a trailer. You know trailer? I mean, you see Netflix and Amazon Prime, you see trailers. What you have seen in Manipur is a trailer. What the RSS and BJP will do in the Northeast. They will divide the Northeast on religion, on caste, on language, on food habits, on everything. And what you have seen in Manipur is just a starting point. So it is for people like Mr. Conrad Sangma in Meghalaya. It is people like Mr. Khandu in Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. Rio in Nagaland, who claim to be great champions of regional pride. Why are they in bed with the BJP? Because the washing machine, no? Because they have to be in that washing machine. If they are not in the washing machine, they'll be in jail.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.